All right, we're live. So, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Is Hollywood Dead? I have with me a dear friend, Taral Hicks Dawson, and I'm not gonna, take up too much time. I'm gonna pass it to her so that she can give you a brief summary of, who she is in case you don't know, so that when she passed by, you'll make sure to salute next time. Hey, you got it, Terrell.
Hey everybody, I am Taral Hicks Dawson. I'm an actress, a singer, and a model. You may know me from the movie A Bronx Tale as Jane or Belly as Keisha and so many other things. I'm happy to be here chatting with my boy Frank today and just, hoping that you all will come in and join us.
Okay, Terrell, let's get down to the question of the hour. Give
Okay.
me your opinion and then elaborate on it, and we'll take it from there. So, is Hollywood dead?
Is Hollywood dead? I do not think that Hollywood is dead. Do I think that Hollywood is different? Yes. But is it dead? No. And so I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. The reason why I say Hollywood is not dead, because although it's not what it used to be, and I would be referring back to the 90s and the 2000s, when early 2000s, when I was very much doing a lot in Hollywood. Things are just different now. It's not dead, but the opportunities can actually just be what you want them to be. So back then, back in the 90s, we had to pretty much follow a protocol, so to say. You had to go through film directors, you had to have an agency. Nowadays, because of the streaming platforms, it's allowed people to be able to bring their creativity to the front. So nowadays, I feel like Hollywood is what we created to be. So if you have something successful that may not come from California Hollywood or the big, huge directors that work in Hollywood, but it's successful, then you become Hollywood because you're the next popping thing. So everything today, I feel, is built off of hype. And so we are Hollywood. Us creators, those of us that are talented, as soon as we get something that hits, we become Hollywood. Now, what we do with the exposure and our opportunity and our time depends on us. So, in my opinion, Hollywood is not dead. It's just not as formatted as it used to be back in the 90s, or the structure of what Hollywood looked like. Now, is there a separation between Hollywood? Because when you say the word Hollywood, like I said, it's not just California Hollywood and the big studios, but almost anyone that have a bright idea today can bring it to life. So, and everyone hope to make it big time. And a lot of directors and a lot of actresses and a lot of writers and a lot of actors do make it big time without the big studios behind them. So I wouldn't say that it's dead. I would just say that it's new. It's different.
I can tell from your answer that you've adjusted, and it seems like you've adjusted in a good way where you're still moving forward. Um, when the changes first started happening, when you first realized, whether it was before COVID or after COVID, but when you first realized that there was an evolution in the industry, how did you deal with it then as opposed to now? It seems like you've worked through it, but at that moment when it was happening, what were you feeling, and what made you make the adjustments that you made?
Wow. I would say I definitely felt a little bit lost, because old Hollywood compared to new Hollywood, old Hollywood, you had everyone doing things for you. You had your managers, you had your agencies, like I said, you had people that were like right there. But when everything shifted, they did everything for you. Now they can't do it all for you. you have to be visible. You have to make videos. You have to make yourself known on social. You have to create a presence. And that's how people gravitate to you now. So, although, yes, we do still have managers and we still have people in our corners, but you are the forefront of your situation. So when I realized that, okay, yeah, my manager can't show my personality on Instagram. I have to actually get on there and have a presence and let my fans know that I'm here. Like, this is who I am. So I would say that the industry has become a lot more personable, so to say, when it wasn't before. We didn't know what nobody was doing in their homes. Now we know everything
Mhm.
everybody's doing in their homes. And that took adjustment because, I'm a pretty private person, but now I'm like, oh, I gotta get on here and I really, I have to make my presence known, and it's gonna be outside of what I normally do as far as being actress and just hitting my lines and going home. It's not that anymore. People want to know who you are. People want to see you. People want to get to know you. People want to celebrate your wins, and they also want to know what your struggles are as well.
Mhm.
So it's a lot different. In other words, like, we can't hide behind, you know, the curtain, so to say, anymore. We have to be
Mhm.
upfront, and or else we're forgotten. You're
Right,
forgotten. Your social media presence, you're forgotten.
right, right.
So yeah.
One of the things I noticed, like on the banner scrolling, is you know, you have a cosmetic line right now, and
Yes.
so I can see from that you apparently are diversifying as well as from the acting. And I know you sing. Can you
Yeah.
talk about some of the other moves that you're making to diversify and take advantage of social media and just the other tools to stay relevant in the industry?
Well, I am a woman of many talents, and there were some things that I wanted to be able to create and do, as well as, the acting, because there's so many different sides to me. I went to high school for cosmetology, so beauty and being a beautician was something that I've always wanted to, get involved in. And when Selfie approached me with the partnership with Selfie Cosmetics. And I said, well, that's perfect. I can create a beauty line because everyone's always saying, oh, you're so pretty for a dark girl. I don't really like that comment or that statement,
Right,
but because I feel we're all beautiful. But I'm like,
right.
you know what? It's time for me to do something with this beauty. So the cosmetic line was just right on time and perfect. And I can show my personality. I can show my brand. It's vegan, it's all natural. So I'm also promoting something that, would be good for women who are into, cosmetic stuff,
Mhm.
into beauty things. So, and as far as the singing, yes, I do my music as well. So I think today has allowed us to use every part of us. People, like I
Mhm.
was saying before, people want to see who you are. Well, you don't just get Taral Hicks the actress, you don't just get Taral Hicks the singer. No, you get all of Taral Hicks. And
Mhm.
that's beauty, that's fashion, that's acting, that's everything. And I remember in the 90s, they didn't want you to be all over the place like that. Not to say that I'm all
Right.
over the place, but that's what they considered it. You got to focus and concentrate on one thing. It's not like that anymore. Now you can just be authentically who you are. And this is who I am. I love makeup. So why not be, a person that would bring a cosmetic line to all of my fans so that,
Right.
they can have something to remember me by.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations on that. I'm very happy for you.
Thank
Um,
you.
so I did interview our boy Gary earlier, and
Okay.
so yeah, I like to reference something he said that was very enlightening to me. You remember, back in the day, I think when we all worked on a film together, it wasn't as easy for a filmmaker to get their film out there. We all know that now that's simply not the case. You can distribute your film, you can make money off your movie. Uh, he, Gary talked about how that's been good and bad for him. Because
Mhm.
prior to that, being in the union, you could depend on royalties and what have you from previous shows, but those shows may not be streaming anymore. So
Yeah.
he talked about, he's open to continue to work on independent movies, but independent directors need to understand that we need to talk points. We need to talk royalties. We need to talk producer credits because, yeah, you're going to pay me to come out and be on your film for a day or two, but, I no longer have access to to royalties in the future because of how the internet has changed things. Has that been something that you have embraced as well as an actress as you continue to move forward, maybe taking independent movies?
I have been taking independent movies for one because roles today are far and few, but there also are a lot of roles as well. But I feel like I don't want to sound away, but my resume speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So I want those good roles out there that's going to pay me my worth for one, that's going to give me the points and the things that I deserve as an actress. But then there's that other side of the industry where um, you're seeing a repeat of the same people being hired.
Right.
It's the same clique being hired, and how do you get in that, or how do you compete with that? You really can't. So for a lot of us actresses and actors out here, we just want to keep working for one because it's our passion. So it's about the money at times, but then it's not, also because we don't even feel whole if we're not doing what we were created to do. And if you're
Right.
created to be an actor or an actress, that's what you want to do. You want to act. So because the industry has changed so much, I think that's why you see a lot more actresses and actors being in, smaller budget films or lower budget projects, because we just want to work. I mean, this is what we do for a living. We still have to make
Right.
money. So, you know, we're not going to turn down everything that comes our way because it's how we live. It's how we survive.
Right. Right.
And I'm glad that everyone, went on strike so that we can fight for some of the things that we deserve, as far as writers, as far as actresses. And I feel like the streaming situation, it is terrible because it seems like only a certain amount of people are really making the money, and everybody else is kind of getting, a little payoff, and then they're
Right.
sent on their way. And I don't think
Right.
it should be. I think if you are a part of something and it blows up, then you should automatically receive, you know, a residual compensation for putting in the work to make the
Right.
project what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, I can like in the movie Belly and the role that you played in that film, I can
Yeah.
see how it's easy to get pigeonholed
Hmm.
into that. Like, like I had the opportunity to work with you in the first film I worked with you on. It's like they did kind of repeat,
Yeah.
that
The
same
same.
similar character.
Yeah.
But in the most recent film we did together, it was really nice to see because, obviously the film was a different type film, and
Yes.
and to your credit, I just do a shout out. Like I know we agreed on a certain amount and what have you, but your performance was far above and beyond, that.
Thank,
You could tell that you put your entire heart into it, and it was an incredible performance. But
thank you.
how is that? Um, how do you balance that when filmmakers try to send you movies that will keep you pigeonholed in that particular role and then take on new work? How do you
Well,
balance that?
I got to a point where I don't really accept those roles like that because I want to
Mhm.
grow as an actress, and I don't want to be stuck in what I did in 1996.
Right.
I want to evolve. And so that's why I thank you for writing Agnostic and giving me the opportunity to develop that alongside of you, and make that movie what it was. I believed in the script and you hit me with something, and I was like, well, no one has come to me with this angle, and I want to grow as an actress. I want people to see that, I didn't just stop or, pause when Belly came out, but there's more to me than just playing the ghetto hood chick. I was Jane in a Bronx Tale, and she had some soft sides, but she still was a little aggressive. She came from the ghetto and the hood and the blah blah blah, and she met the Italian.
Mm-hmm.
But when you brought me agnostic, it put me in my current state as where I am as an actress, and the more mature roles that I would like to play, to be an example for, our girls out there that want to do this and tell a story that is meaningful, and a story
Mm-hmm.
that someone can actually get a little bit of wisdom from. And so that's
Right.
why I signed on to do agnostic. You gave me a lead role, and it was worth it. And I knew I could take that script and make it what I wanted to, what I wanted it to be, as
Right.
well as give a great performance, because I was ready for something like that. And so now
Right.
when I get the same uh, types of roles, or be typecast, so to say, I turn them down because there's more to me than that, and I want to grow. So
Right. Yeah, that was a good situation. It was a pleasure working with you on that because you could tell that you had a lot of input on the writing, and you really helped take that film to an entire new level.
yeah.
One of the things I want to ask you about is it's clear just in talking to you right now, your spiritual growth, your maturity, the balance. What have you done? Because I know you're married, you have a family, and you're involved in the church, your local
Yeah.
church community. What
Mhm.
what have, what have you done to maintain a balance in the midst of all of the chaos in the industry right now, and continue to move forward with your career? How are you balancing that? And I know you've done a lot of good stuff to stay balanced, but I'm sure there are some tough times too. So how do you balance that whole situation?
Well, I, was taught by my parents at an early age to always keep God first. And so my faith and my hope and my belief in God is definitely what carried me through um times where I may have felt depressed, because, I wasn't getting roles, or no one was really calling, or I'm like, I've done this, that, and the other, and I don't understand, why my door is not like knocking consistently.
Right.
But, I do feel that in that came some revelation for me, that, God said to me, I opened the doors and I closed them. So if no doors are opening right now, is because I don't want them to open. But when the doors open, they'll be the right doors. And so that has just stayed with me. And I don't, I do an audition. If I don't get it, I don't get it. It wasn't meant for me. And a lot of times something will just fall in my lap. And I know that, God sent it my way, because I didn't, audition for it, or I didn't, it'll just be a phone call. Look, we want Taral Hicks for this role, blah, 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 blah. And that's how that works. And I know that that's God. And not only that, but I'm in a mature state in my life where, yes, I have two sons. I've been married for 25 years. And, I'm all about empowering women and setting a positive example out there for, our young girls that are coming in the industry, talking to them just about, how to keep yourself classy, and with tact, and watch your surrounding, watch who's around you, watch who you're hanging with. If you're hanging with people that aren't growing, then you're not going to grow. And so changing your circle has a lot to do with it too, because if you're not around people that are uh, uh mentally stable, then that's not going to help you if you're in a depressed state. So I always try to
Right.
stay around positive people that are going to feed my mind, and also people that are better than me. Because when I say
Mhm.
better than me, that they mastered the skill, because I can learn from people like that,
Mhm.
your circle is everything. Just if you can't learn in your circle, how are you going to grow? But
Right.
I'm a person that is very much I'm excited about growth, and I'm excited about, you know, people who are winning around me, because that makes me want to go get it. So I've
Mhm.
always just kept positivity around me, and just, you know, my mom has Alzheimer's now, but when she was well, she just tell me, you know, you could do anything, and whatever doors don't open, it's okay, because you know who has your back, and that's God.
Right,
He has my back, and I've been
right.
fine. And my spiritual health, I go to a church named Agape. My spiritual health, I've been there for about 20 years, along with my husband and my family. Spiritual growth is everything, because when you have that inside of you, the enemy can't attack you. If you don't have those things, then yeah, the enemy speaks to you and he tells you you're not good enough. Oh, they're not calling you because you're not good. Oh, they're not that. It's none of that. It's never that. And you have to believe within yourself. And I have enough belief in myself to know that I'm good, and I'm good at this, and this is what
Mhm.
God put on this earth to do. And the only way I can lose is if I give up. But if I keep going, I'm going to keep succeeding. And
Right.
whether it's a success a year, a success every 2 years, it's still a success. And that's how I look
Mhm.
at it. My family, I love them dearly. I like to tell people I live the best of both worlds. Yes, I'm a celebrity, but I'm also a cool, pretty cool chick, a pretty cool mom, a great wife. Yes, my husband, I'm a great wife. Bragging on myself. But you know, I'm balanced, and I have God. God is in the middle of all of it. And that's
Right,
what makes me who I am today.
right. Well, I know we're running out of time, but I'm gonna ask you one more question, and we can kind of close out with this one. Because I suspect when you first started, when you were young and your eyes were wide open, and Hollywood and fame and cameras flashing and red carpet and what have you, and the way you are now, I suspect that there's a vast difference. What would you say to young actors, actresses coming up, who are trying to break into the industry or who are trying to make their way to what would you say to them before they jump out there and take that leap of faith?
I would say, again, keep God first.
Hmm.
Speak things into existence. I would say, um, always be a learner, always be a listener before giving reaction. Always, like I said, watch your surrounding, who you're surrounding yourself around. Um, I would say, now with streaming and all of the different ways that we can see each other on socials, make yourself visible and be your number one fan, because again, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is. So come out here with confidence, and know that if you don't give up, you're gonna win. That's it. And when you're facing struggles and you're facing obstacles, take a minute, pray about it, reset, ask God for guidance. He'll give it to you, and go about your journey and be great.
Well, I'd say this has been an awesome conversation, Terrell. I am truly honored to know you, to be your friend, and that you took the time out to spend with us today. So I just want to
Abs-
say thank you very much. Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. You know, we go way back. We're
Oh
in
yeah.
a few projects together now, and I
Oh
just
yeah.
want you to know I'm proud of you and proud of what you're doing. So you keep going,
I
Mr.
appreciate it.